Hello, this video has advice for teachers helping a prospective applicant prepare for mathematics at Oxford. I'd like to start by talking about the mathematics admissions test that we use at Oxford. Unlike the STEP exam that you might have heard of, the mathematics admissions test is taken early in the admissions process and it's taken by all of our applicants. Because it's taken earlier in year 13 or equivalent, it has a very limited syllabus of mathematics that we expect people to have seen, broadly based on AS level single mathematics, so no further mathematics, and only a couple of topics from the start of the second half of Maths A level. The syllabus is linked in the description below, and if you check the MAT website, it's there as well. It's one side of maths that I hope you'll agree is mostly AS level mathematics. If possible, it would be helpful if applicants could see content on arithmetic and geometric series as soon as possible, certainly before the date of MAT, which this year is the 3rd of November 2021, but ideally as soon as possible. There's only, I think, 4 things I need candidates to know about geometric series. I need them to know what a geometric series is. I need them to know the sum of the first n terms, the sum of infinitely many terms, and whether that converges or not, the condition for that. That's all I'm expecting people to know about geometric series. If there's a way that applicants could find that out as soon as possible, that would help them in their preparation for the maths admissions test. A little bit about the content of the maths test there. It's got these long questions that ask candidates to prove something or to explain their working out. I'm always encouraging students to write more words. It doesn't have to be eloquent or paragraphs or even full sentences, but it's helpful if they can include just a few words to clarify which direction the logic is going in. Things like if then, to explain that one equation they've written down is an assumption and the next one is something they've deduced from the previous line. I think encouraging students to write more is always important, because left to their own devices, I think students on average don't write anywhere near enough words to explain what they're doing. There are worked solutions over on the MAT website as well if you want to see my solutions to questions. There are videos of me doing MAT problems as well. And just a note for your information about the marking process, it's marked by graduate students using mark schemes with the number of marks for each part specified in advance, with a normal A-level style method mark, accuracy mark structure to the marking. There's no negative marking. We do things like error carried forwards and benefit of the doubt, and trying to give the candidates as much credit as we can for what they've written, including things like giving marks for later parts of the long question, even if they haven't done a previous part of the long question. So I try to give them as much credit as we can for things that they've written. Okay, so that's my advice about preparing for the mathematics admissions test. I've made a separate video on MAT advice for the applicants that you're welcome to watch as well if you want to see what I'm telling them about preparing for the mathematics admissions test. That's one of the main things we use to help decide who we're going to shortlist for interview. Okay, I've got a slide here about A-level policy as well, just to explain how we feel about further maths. We're really big fans of further maths. We count maths and further maths as 2 separate A-levels. Our standard conditional offer for mathematics at Oxford is A star, A star, A, with A star in maths, A star in further maths, A in a third subject. We're okay with maths in year 12, further maths in year 13, so studied in series or in parallel. Either of those is fine with us. And we don't mind what that third subject is. It certainly doesn't have to be physics to make a competitive application to maths at Oxford. We know that some schools or colleges can't teach further maths, and we don't want that to be a disadvantage for applicants. If a student can't do further maths for some reason, maybe a timetabling clash, or maybe the school doesn't teach further maths, then we have the ability to make an offer if we want to, based on the maths that they're studying. On the other hand, if a student's decided not to do further maths, but then changes their mind and wants to pick up a bit of further maths later on, maybe they've discovered in year 12 just how amazingly great maths is, it would be a good idea if they could, if it's at all possible, if they could pick up AS level further maths in year 13. I'm a very big fan of further maths. I like the idea of people learning about complex numbers during A level if they can. And we think that studying maths at A level through maths and further maths helps prepare people for university. Okay. policy on international baccalaureate, if you're teaching that instead. We think that higher level mathematics is sufficient preparation for the maths course at Oxford, and we're okay with either pathway without preference between the two pathways. Our standard conditional offer for maths at Oxford is 766, with 7 in higher level maths, 6 in 2 other high level courses, and we've got a requirement for 39 overall, including core points. That's the standard offer we make on the international baccalaureate. Okay. Point here about UCAS references as well. I'm not going in any particular order, I suppose. I've noticed a lot of contextual information appearing in UCAS references. Please keep doing that. Schools, colleges and teachers who are putting in extra information that helps us understand the context around achievements that students have made. We get some statistics and data from the government, but anything else we need to know, it's helpful to get that through the UCAS reference. Important facts about the situation at your school or college, especially if it's the case that a student has done incredibly in a school where that's perhaps a rarer occasion for someone to do really well at mathematics. As I mentioned before, if further maths is not offered, it's important that we know that so that we can take that into consideration. Or if there was something that stopped a student from doing further maths, but they wish they could do further maths, maybe they're now going to do some further maths, it's helpful for that to be mentioned here in the reference as well. Okay. I've got some suggestions of extra bits of mathematics. We're always keen to see students exploring mathematics beyond the classroom. We don't require the extended project qualification. We don't use it for admissions decisions or in any of our offers. But students do sometimes say that it was a good way to explore mathematics. My understanding is that it's sometimes difficult for a student to do an EPQ on mathematics, but if it's possible as a way of them exploring mathematics, then perhaps that might be a good idea. I've got some slides coming up to mention some extra bits of mathematics, and I'm also promoting these to prospective applicants through other videos for the open day. So this is, for your information, other things that I'm keen on for extra bits of mathematics. Firstly, the Advanced Mathematics Support Programme, which does events and resources for maths students doing A-level maths, further maths or core maths. Lots of things going on over there. I think you need to make an account through a school or college, and I think it's free. So if you haven't done that already, then there's some free resources from the AMSP that you might be interested in. Next up, I'd like to mention the STEP support programme. So STEP is another maths exam. It's not used by Oxford, but it does have some interesting questions in it. So over on the STEP support programme, they've got resources aimed at people preparing for STEP using past questions, warm-up questions, extra bits of mathematics, and it's really well structured with a discussion of the questions afterwards. You can't read this on the right, but there's a big chunky bit of discussion underneath a past STEP question there. So that's a free resource that I'm encouraging applicants to use as a way to explore the mathematics that they've learnt through school and try some harder questions, get stuck into some problem solving. Finally, in a shameless bit of self-promotion, I've got the Oxford Online Maths Club, which I'm heavily involved with organising and hosting. We're exploring links between A-level and university maths. It is specifically targeted at prospective applicants who are interested in finding out a bit more about what maths at university might be like. We do live broadcasts every Thursday that are available to watch afterwards, and I suggest further reading of ways people can go and explore the subjects we've discussed a little bit more. In the images here on the left, Lauren, who's a current student, is explaining probability to me, and then on the right I'm showing off a kind of dodecahedron cube model that I've made to make a point about symmetry. So that's the Maths Club. I'm promoting this to all of the prospective applicants you know. If you can help me reach extra prospective applicants, that would be appreciated. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Overall, we're looking for people who are keen on mathematics, who are interested in exploring mathematics, who are very good at solving maths problems, and anything that you or I can do to help give them extra bits of mathematics and support them at the moment with finding extra things to do is, I think, helpful to them as they get ready to prepare for university and to prepare for an application. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the open day.